We
Hey,
are on the air. Hello.
happy hour. I was just telling everyone that my sister wife made homemade chili and brought it over last night. And so tonight I got my sports bar on and used the leftover chili and made nachos.
Nice.
Oh,
Do you realize when you say on the Bob and Sherry show right here, my sister wife, there are new people that have are really not too familiar with us, and they think you're in a
Polygamist?
polyamorous.
relationship in Utah. You know,
Well, according to what I saw on TV for the last few years, that worked out really well.
well, it's a good choice.
That
It's a
show,
good
Everybody
lifestyle
needs to
choice.
try it
Yeah,
because it looks like it was easy.
for
that show
everybody.
is one of
Everybody.
No,
my.
my sister wife is my husband's first wife, but we're very, very close, like sisters, and we are all up in each other's families and kids, and I just love her to
Yeah,
pieces.
that's great. But getting back to the sister wife thing, Lamar is right. You know what I found, Lamar? I found that if you're having a relationship with numerous women, numerous wives, after about 10 years with the first wife, it's a great idea to bring on a younger, thinner woman
Yes.
10 years later
I
because nobody cares.
that show is one of my special interests. I've watched every season of Sister Wives. I know
Are you
so
kidding?
much.
Oh, Heather is
I
Heather
love
has
it.
gospel.
Collar
Heather
Heather-
has the whole tea
Yes.
on Sister Wives.
I
What do you want to
never
know?
would
Ask her
see,
anything.
I
Ask
wouldn't
her
see
anything.
you as that.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
okay, so
fascinated.
let me ask you because what's the name of the main guy there?
Cody.
What's his name?
Cody.
Cody. Yeah, of course
Cody
it's
the
Cody.
idiot.
Yeah.
I call him Noodlehead.
Yeah.
What's
How
the
he
matter
got
with
one
him?
woman? How he got one woman, much less more
I
than one woman
know.
simultaneously.
What's your question,
My
Bob?
my question is, I mean, basically, what is wrong with him that he wanted to go down that road? Was it a religious thing that he was brought up in? What
It was
was it?
brought up
He
that
wasn't.
way.
No, he was not brought up in the religion. So his
Oh, really?
his
Was he
dad
not?
and mom got into it when he was already an adult.
Oh, okay.
So he was not brought up
Wow.
into it, but he did become a part of the religion. But his first wife, Mary, could not have. She has fertility issues, so she could not
Yes.
have a lot of kids.
Right.
One's all
And
she had, right?
oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So he married Janelle, who was actually previously married to Mary's brother, got divorced, and then married her. So
Well, keeps
then married
Christmas easier, I guess. You know.
then married Christine shortly after. So that's
Uh-huh.
the OG three, the
Uh-huh.
first three wives: Mary, Janelle, Christine, and then 10 years later marries Robin, who already had 3 kids in a previous marriage.
Was Robin the last one?
Yes.
And she's still kind of like the main one now or
She's
something?
the only one
Only
now.
one
She's
left.
the only one. They all
All
left?
Have
Yep.
you met him?
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
believe he kept any.
Just the hairstyle. Just the hairstyle. I'm
I
sorry.
know.
Yeah.
Hey, Sherry, I can't believe a couple of people would leave someone. You know what I mean?
I know, right? Whatever happened to commitment, Bob?
Now, Heather, am
World's
I
going
right?
to
though?
hell.
Their kids, as they have gotten older
I
and
got to
moved
get the
out or
dog a
whatever,
treat.
none
Yeah.
of them are interested in the
Not
life.
a single one
Not
of
a
those
single one of their
kids
kids is
is
headed that way.
polygamous.
They're all like, no way.
Well, and would you want that after watching 3 of your
No.
moms go through what they did, and also the parentification of some of the older kids? Because he had 13 children, and then Robin's 5. So that's a lot of kids. That is, and imagine a lot of toddlers at the same time, because like 3 of the kids were born within like a year of each other. That's a lot of toddlers at the same time. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I try really hard to be respectful of other people's belief systems and faith practices. But I gotta say, and you gotta remember, I spent a good part of my life in a certain part of the world. And plural marriage just feels to me like a misogyny patriarchal shit sandwich. That said, like there are plenty of days, like I love my girlfriends. There are plenty of days it would be handy to have a few around the house.
I th- I think it really sucks because the women went in there never getting their emotional or like financial needs met and they were always footing the bill for other segments of the family or for what Cody wanted to do and for every like house move and everything else. I mean, Janelle's retirement paid for the house that Robin and Cody are living in now.
I'd
So
burn that sumbitch down.
So would I.
I would burn it down.
Hey, Lamar, I'd get a couple of the other wives to help with the gasoline.
Oh yeah, I don't think it'd be a problem.
You would not.
I told you guys, right, that so when my stepdad was alive, he and my mom retired not too far from the Warren Jeffs compound when Warren Jeffs was running it, pre-Warren Jeffs getting arrested, right? And if you remember from any of the documentaries, it's a little town. They have a cafe and a gas station and various things. Well, Ted used to love, like on a nice afternoon, to go for a long ride and just go wherever the car took him. And so he and my mom were out on a long drive, and Ted was like, Franny, I feel like I'd like to eat something. So they pulled in to this little charming town and went into the cafe and realized about 5 minutes after placing their order where they were. And when I saw the Netflix documentary on Warren Jeffs, I was like, oh, that's where my mom and dad went to lunch. But they couldn't get out of there fast enough. It was a very, very strange vibe. And if you watch, what was the name of that thing that was on Netflix? It's right on the tip of my tongue. It was horrifying. If you watched that and you were weeping and physically sick, that is right around the corner from my mom.
Escaping Polygamy.
It was.
Listen, Carla has studied this stuff. She has studied that stuff like she's getting a master's degree. Between that and Scientology, she is like God. She watches everything. I mean,
did you see?
Wait a minute.
Did you see that Danny
Keaton
Masterson?
just said, I just turned into this. What in the world did I just step into?
It's happy hour. Did you guys see that Danny Masterson lost his appeal and today they transferred him to the California State Prison where Manson was?
They did? When did that happen? Today?
It is going to be bad for Danny Masterson. That is a bad, tough place.
Boy, I hate that. I hate that for him.
I know.
I hate it.
God, it's almost like you shouldn't violently rape people. Am I right?
Yes.
Because the consequences are kind of a
here's what he's going to wish. He's going to wish he had some roofies.
Oh,
yeah.
He's going to wish he was back in Eric's basement.
Yeah.
Lord.
Why didn't they give those jobs on TV to you and me, Lamar? You know?
God, if I know.
We would have been so appreciative.
I wouldn't have raped nobody. I wouldn't even go harshly to anybody.
No. I'd be walking
Yes, I'm
around.
sorry. Carrie's right. He lost his appeal to be released on bail pending his appeal. He still has an appeal to his conviction.
No, you don't get out on should not get out on bail on none of it. That's ridiculous. No.
Go get your bail.
No.
The judge was like, you're a hardcore flight risk. So for my fellow Scientology fanatics, tell Carla this. Does she follow Tony Ortega? Because he's a reporter that reports on Scientology. And he's got a Substack that is like, you have to pick your eyes off the floor, rinse them off and get them back in your head. But he printed in his Substack the entire transcript of the bail appeal hearing. And it was something. It was
Tony
something
Ortega.
to read. Yeah, Tony Ortega. I found him. I used to follow him on Twitter and then I subscribed to his Substack. This is for like all of my fellow Scientology nuts.
Oh, God.
Adam wants to know what we're drinking. I'm having a Sonoma County Pinot Noir called Thistles and Quail. How about you, Bob?
This is a cab, and it's out of Northern California somewhere. It is a company called Silver Palm, and it's become my favorite red wine. It's not overly expensive, and it's very nice. And if I have to drive 10 miles to get it.
I bought some of that after I had it at your house. Me and Carla like it. We like
Oh,
it.
did you really? Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know where I discovered this? First Leaf Wine Club.
Oh, is that right? No kidding.
Yeah, this was they sent me this in my First Leaf box, and I was like, "Yum, that is delicious." And of course, I love to support Sonoma County wine. Let's not kid ourselves. I would drink Gloucester, New Jersey wine if I couldn't get anything else, but I do like to support Sonoma County.
Can I tell you what I did today?
Four Roses single barrel. It is for the money. One of the best bourbons ever. Costco.
Say it again. Say it
Four
again.
Roses.
Four Roses single barrel at Costco. It's $40. And for the it's really good.
What does that mean? Single barrel? It sounds like a shotgun.
It means only one thing instead of blended. It's like single malt Scotch.
Oh,
Instead
yeah.
of blended Scotch, it's one thing. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's not like a
Not
blend
mixed,
of
nothing
red
else.
wine. It's not. Okay. It's
No,
single
Four
barrel.
Roses bourbon
Okay.
drinkers will tell you that like,
That's
like your trendy tech bros are like Pappy Van Winkle, but real bourbon drinkers are like, yeah, Four Roses.
I mean,
Can I tell you all? I saw a celebrity this
Who'd you see?
afternoon about 5 hours ago.
Who'd you see?
Yeah. Let me give you the story behind the story. My wife, Mary, and 4 of her book club girlfriends decided that they would have like 3 days in a rented cottage, just the 3 of them, right? They see each other all the time. There's the Colonel and let's see, there are 5, yeah, and 3 others. And so it's on an island. They rented a cottage on an island, which if you're on this north part of the island, you can see Savannah in the distance. All right. And so it's a really cool cottage on an island. I don't know if I want to out the island, but anyway, if you can figure it out, you can figure it out. Small island. It has a couple of casual restaurants. And when it closes down, the island is completely dark. There are no cars on this island. You can have a golf buggy on this island. The island has gone bankrupt 2 or 3 times over the last 40 years. The hotel that was there is deserted, has been it's crumbling, but there are people that are trying to rehabilitate it. Now, on part of this island, there are some really fancy neighborhoods, really nice houses. There are also some shacks. So it's a little bit of a mix. And it has one area where there are probably 3 bars, always a blues band playing outside if the weather permits, and guys roasting oysters right before your eyes in this pit. So it's got a Jimmy Buffett flavor when Jimmy Buffett wants to get funky. So that's the place that they're going, and they got a really nice house that they rented. And as a matter of fact, I think Mary sent Heather a video of me taking them out there. So I got a boat, and I got one of their husbands to help me out. And so we've got like 6 people on this boat. It's a tritoon. It's like a pontoon boat, but it's a tritoon. It's a little more of a boat than a pontoon. And out we go. And it's an incredible day. I mean, clear skies. It's chilly. I got my black leather jacket on, and I'm feeling pretty good. And we're going to post the little video of the ladies and me and one of the guys. And so we get out there, and of course, they got luggage. They got a lot of luggage. And we're pulling luggage off the boat, which I docked without cracking up, which I'm very proud of myself. And we're dragging it up, and we're halfway up the dock planks to get to where they're going to get a golf cart to go to their rental house. And all of a sudden, and I'm still bringing luggage up. All of a sudden, there's a couple walking, and everything gets really still. But I'm still moving, so I didn't catch the whole thing. But all of a sudden, I saw iPhones go up, and I went, "Oh, I know what this is." And I look over, and there is a guy with a hat like Lamar wears, the Western hat, but it's flat on the top, black leather hat, black overcoat down to the knees, black slacks, black boots with a heel, and shades. And next to him, a blonde who is thin and approximately 8 feet tall. And this guy is not a tall guy. He's maybe my height.
Was it the devil based on his clothes? No?
John
Okay.
Cougar Mellencamp.
Dressed like that? Every time I see him on the Dan Rather Big Interview, he's wearing mechanics overalls. I just wasn't prepared for that.
And his hair is perfect. It's got that gray black thing going, and he's got a cigarette, and he walks by, and I kind of heard one of the women say, "Hi, John." And then Mary said, "Love your music." Right straight on. Nothing. And they got onto a boat. There was a guy who was maybe a captain of the boat or a friend, or I don't know what his deal is. The boat's about a 28, 30-foot sport fishing boat, really cool boat. They put a couple of things on it and took off, and John was behind the wheel, and off he went. He lives there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was very cool. I said to myself, do you really want to run down there and say, "Hey, you were on the Bob and Sheri show and your band was so good on satellite"? And the I don't want to say attitude, just the aura of the guy just said, "I'm about the coolest son of a bitch you've ever seen, and I don't want to talk to anybody."
But you know what?
And I'm the rudest son of a bitch you've ever, because that's rude.
I can't.
He's
I don't
such
know.
a nice
Everybody's always
Midwestern guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's a really humble guy, and his band doing Cherry Bomb live on our show at like 7 o'clock in the freaking morning, that was total respect.
Well, let me just say what Lamar said. I get it. Not everybody is Paul McCartney who will stop and say, "Oh, is this your baby?" And you don't know what's going on with the guy. You don't know if the blonde is taking him to get a medical checkup, and everybody on that little island stops him all the time, I'm sure. So I'm going to cut him some
really
slack.
though, because if they live out there and they know he's out there, they probably don't bother him.
Most of
that
the
would be
people
my
don't.
guess too.
But we looked like my girls look like the tourists they were. And so, he's probably rolling his eye. It was not Meg Ryan, by the way. No, I don't think they're still together.
He's
One of our
involved with
listeners,
real
Cherry,
estate.
said that.
I think his life partner now is a real estate agent, or was a real estate.
That's true, because most Southern real estate agents are blonde and 6 feet tall. That's exactly right.
Except for my friend Tina, who's blonde and 8 inches tall. So, but as long as you got the blonde thing, right?
Yeah.
I would, every time I've ever seen him interviewed or have interviewed him myself, he has always been the most down to earth guy. But then again, you really don't know. It's true whether it's a celebrity or your neighbor or a stranger. You don't know what's happening in somebody's life at the moment you cross paths.
No, you
And then
don't.
you have some impression that this person is like terrible or nasty or rude or whatever. And we don't even know,
No. Yeah,
that's today's social worker PSA. We don't know each other's struggle.
And he's brilliant. Speaking of music, I got from my friend H.A. Thompson, who is a long retired guy, owns a company called Rose Limousine in Charlotte now, but he was a radio personality years and years ago, and I hadn't seen him in years. And we got together. He was the senior radio announcer when I was in my 20s of a radio station in Charlotte, WBT. And he posted something about, that Frank Sinatra song. I'm going to do a oddcast on this, I think. That Frank Sinatra song, That's Life?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does everybody, I don't know if Heather knows that song. She's too young. That's life. That's what the people say.
You've heard it.
Flying
It's been in
high.
commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shot down in May, but I know it's going to change its tune when I back on top in June. It was, he sent me, this guy wrote that song with another guy and posted maybe it was in a magazine, the story behind getting Sinatra to sing that. Evidently Ray Charles sang it first, and it's hard to cover Ray Charles. But they finally got him to agree to do That's Life. And Sinatra said, "I'll only do it if there's a full orchestra with this backup vocal group, which were the Blossoms, which was basically Darlene Love and 2 other young women. And I sing live because that's the only way I do it. I don't overdub into a track. And I have places for my friends to come. So it's like it's a concert." And I'd heard that that's the way he recorded. He would invite his friends to Capitol Records in LA, and there'd be an area, and it was like a concert, but he's singing with the orchestra, and that's the record. And so that's interesting enough. But what really I thought was unusual was he walked in with his wife at the time, Mia Farrow, who ended up married to Woody Allen. She was like 35 years younger than he was. So he's 50. And along with them, two bodyguards with shotguns. I've been around a lot of celebrities, and I've never seen anybody coming in that heavy. And
Shotguns. Holy
shotguns.
cow.
And I thought about it, and I said, don't forget, his son was kidnapped and held for ransom. And that may have been the reason.
Yeah,
See, this is why I'm a Swiftie, because Tay's security doesn't come in with shotguns. They dress up to blend in to whatever event she's at.
Oh, really?
So at the playoff game, they were dressed like football fans. When she got her degree from NYU, they were in caps and gowns. Like anytime you see Taylor Swift anywhere, she is flanked by security because that woman is hounded by Looney Tunes. But
Have to be.
constantly.
Pro
they
and
are
con.
always dressed to disappear. So you don't know the difference between Taylor's
Yeah.
security
Yeah.
and somebody else who's happening to be
But
at the
you'll
event.
know them if you put your hands on her.
Oh, you'll definitely know.
You'll know them then, buddy.
You sure will.
Yeah.
You sure will. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And speaking of, between the Grammys this Sunday and the Super Bowl, Go Chiefs Kingdom next Sunday, my weekend dance card is full.
The Grammys are this Sunday?
Yeah, and Taylor's nominated for in 6 categories, and Travis Kelsey, who is the king of manifesting all desires, has already said she's going to sweep everything in her every one of her categories, which would be hysterical if she did. And you know that if she wins for album of the year, Heather, won't she be the most winningest artist ever
Yep,
for the
she'll
most
have
album
the
of the year
most.
wins for
She'll have
Midnight?
the most accolades, I think, of any.
Yeah. So me telling Kevin, usually like the Super Bowl, people will say to me, like, in years past, people will go, "Are you going to a Super Bowl party?" And I'm always like, "Not if it can be helped." This year, I'm like, "No, I'm not going to a Super Bowl party because I need to watch every second of that game intently without blinking.
I
I don't want any distractions."
wonder if her boyfriend is going to the
He's
Grammy.
not. He's
He's
not.
not. That's
It's
probably a
hard
wise
because,
choice. Yeah.
well, he can't. He's practicing and prepping for Super Bowl.
Yeah,
He's already
right.
said. He
Yeah.
said, I think his exact words were, because I've looked at every single thing 15 times and listened to the last episode of New Heights twice. He said, "I would be there to support Taylor at the Grammys if I could, but I've got to work
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl." And
Those
the guy
those
can't
guys
win.
are taken apart from the world
Yeah.
days before a game like that. As a matter of fact, if you watch really high level college basketball, like let's say Duke, Chapel Hill, UCLA, something like that, before a game, they take over a hotel and there's nobody else there for like 2 days. They'll get like a boutique
Yeah.
hotel
Of
sometimes,
course.
and the whole team is there. So the team cannot get up to any, shenanigans, and nobody can bother them.
Listen, I feel sorry for Travis Kelsey in that this is one where he can't win. Half of the fandom is like, "Why aren't you supporting Taylor? She supported you." And the other half is like, "You're at the Grammys, get your ass back to the football field." So he can't win. It's a tough
His
situation.
brother's going to be at the
These are
Grammys.
adults.
His
With no
brother,
shirt.
according to one
No
of our
shirt.
listeners, Adam Parker, says that
Jason.
Jason is going to be representing to support her.
Aw.
I adore Jason Kelsey. I mean, my big brother is like the Eagles fan of all Eagles fans. Like
Uh-huh.
he'll happily go to prison defending the Philadelphia Eagles. So I've followed Jason Kelsey for a long time, and he is just such a big mook. I love him. Like I adore him. So it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see him at the Grammys supporting Taylor. So for all of my fellow Swifties, If you missed the New Heights podcast, which is the Jason and Travis Kelce podcast, where they talk mostly about football, and yet it's strangely fascinating to me now. Um, on the last episode, they were talking about the playoff game and the big win. And Jason said, man, it was so exciting. We had the whole family on the field. Mom, dad, Taylor, and Swifty Nation lost its collective mind because Jason called Taylor family. And one more thing for all my Swifties, and then I know Bob is bored and wants to talk about something else. But one more thing for all my Swifties, that 87 ring that you may have seen pictures of Taylor wearing to the game. Guess who gave her that? Go ahead, ask me, Heather.
Who gave it to her?
Travis's mom, Donna. Shut
up.
You know, it's really interesting. All of the shit that she's taking, dating him, and he is taking, dating her. Not everyone, but people are saying, you're ruining the NFL. Oh, I know who she's going to say to vote for. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, nonsense.
Who was with Joe DiMaggio, the second greatest Yankee, or third, depending on
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe. You can't go back and find any article that says Marilyn Monroe is ruining Joe's life, is ruining the Yankees' image, and all of that. People just said, this is unbelievable. Joe DiMaggio, Joe D, with Marilyn Monroe. Wow, what a story. For better or for that didn't work out, but nonetheless, you didn't have this political bullshit that is going on right now.
Listen, right now in America, it's mashed potatoes versus tater tots in a deathly cage match. I mean, we're just pissed off about everything. But okay, so the Bills-Chiefs game, everybody was like, me, Taylor Swift. Do you have any idea who the quarterback for the Bills is dating? Josh Allen is dating Haley Steinfeld, who is like a giant movie star and pop star. You know the remake of True Grit with Jeff Bridges, the little girl?
Yeah.
She's grown up now. That's Josh Allen's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't see the cameras focusing on her all that much. This business of Taylor wants attention. Oh God, you're going to just have to blow me, because first of all, she was on for like 24 seconds in the playoff game and could buy the Chiefs. This is nonsense. The last thing she needs is attention. Swifty
Okay, I got to talk to
is
Steve
not
Held.
sitting still for it.
Steve Held said Joe DiMaggio didn't marry Marilyn Monroe until after he retired from baseball. I understand that, but he was still
Joe DiMaggio.
He was still Joe DiMaggio. He was still part of the Yankees system and the whole thing. He'll
always be Mr. Coffee to me, though. What can I say? I'm Gen X. Who just asked me that? Crystal Bianco wanted to know if I saw what Travis and Taylor said to each other on the field. Not only did I see it, but NFL Films captured it with crystal clear audio, and I have lived it like a movie. Yes. Because it's a love story. I'm so sorry that in a world that is a porta-john that's been out in the sun for a week and now it's on fire, I'm so sorry that I'm happy for love and romance and something cheerful.
Yeah. Julie Brown said, good morning from a very chilly Willow, Alaska, minus 37 this morning. Watching you guys get me laughing takes the chill out. Wow. God bless. I would love to know. Julie, come back and tell us what you do for a living. I would love that.
Carrie, what did they say? He said, I love you so much, it isn't even funny. And she said, I've never been so proud of anyone ever. I love you. I love you. Okay, Tay, I'm going to go enjoy with the guys. All that kind of stuff. Oh, it's almost like I'm obsessed. I'm sorry.
Is that what he calls her, Tay? That's kind of a cute name.
That's what we all call her. We call her Tay.
All right.
Bob, how long have I been defending freaking Taylor Swift? Like literally since like before Teardrops on My Guitar. I have been defending this woman, this artist for so long. I am having my moment. I am having it. I am a fan. And I'm really, I'm only just going to say this to Heather, and then you two can talk about, I don't know, potatoes or hockey or whatever. Heather, have you thought about all the invisible strings? Okay, that's all. We'll talk offline.
things.
What kind of potatoes do you like, Lamar? I know. I like
Cooked.
those
Cooked.
Yukon Gold potatoes. Those
I'm a
are really
tater
good.
tot person.
Are you really? Yeah.
Speaking
I'm not
of,
a big mashed potato person. I'm a tater tot. I'm a good French fry person.
with the the Super Bowl and the parties, Lamar, what side? What are you cooking?
Super Bowl.
Lamar
I'll
doesn't.
go to
He's not a
somebody-
sports guy. He's
Yeah,
not.
Right,
I don't see
but
you
he's a
doing that.
food
No.
guy.
Yeah, I'll go to somebody else's party and I'll either cook I'll either smoke a butt or I'll do maybe a brisket or something like that. I'll bring something. I'll go to somebody's house that really goes berserk over it. I love I just don't go berserk over it. I like the commercials and they're awesome. I'm a college football watcher. I'm just not an NFL watcher. But I always the Super Bowl. I mean, and if you're not an NFL watcher but you do watch college football, and then all of a sudden you watch the Super Bowl, or I've caught some of the games this year because all the playoffs and the Chiefs and whatever. The level that they play at, it's ridiculous. It's like the difference between college and high school. College and pro, it's a different game.
It is.
It's fast.
Yeah.
It's a different game.
Yeah.
They're unbelievable athletes.
Do you think that college football players or baseball players should be paid?
No, it's ruined college football. That and the portal. It's crazy. But that's what they decided, so that's what they do.
Dennis Karen says, I like Bob Evans mashed potatoes.
Carla loves those. She
There you go.
loves them.
There you go, right there. So here we are. You're right, Sheri. Given our freedom, we're talking about potatoes.
Hockey and potatoes. Yep.
Right.
So, Lamar, Kevin is also a college football guy. He doesn't really the only time Kevin watches a pro football game is if there are some former Georgia Bulldogs who are big starters. Like I could even name some of them, like Matt Stafford, the quarterback, comes to mind, right? So he is so bewildered by why we're suddenly having to watch the Kansas City Chiefs. Why I make him change the channel away from Josh Gates on Expedition Unknown because the Chiefs are playing.
I'll tell you somebody else that's not mad about it. The NFL.
Not a bit.
Because listen, if you bring the women in to watch 24 seconds of Taylor, they're going to sit through the whole game to watch it. And the next thing you know, you're going to keep some of these women as fans. I mean, it's marketing 101. Get them to the thing. Part of them's going to stay. I mean,
you know what they should do? They should get the wives of the NFL. The wives of the NFL on Bravo. Get that thing going and then have them sprinkled in,
I would watch that.
I'd watch that.
Tell me about it. You got
that.
5 or 6 of them, right? You got these shots of them. And then one of them hears one of them say something, goes over to the skybox. That's some action, baby.
Yeah.
Someone earlier said I was a trash TV goblin because I like Sister Wives. And you know what? It's so true. I would watch that in a heartbeat, Bob. But speaking of trash TV, Vanderpump Rules comes back.
You really are like the ultimate trash panda when it comes to television.
How could you, I know you. How could you like her? How could you like that? It is the worst of the worst.
Because I like watching how people interact. I like watching. I like drama when it's other people's drama. It doesn't affect my life.
Made up. It's made up.
Okay.
It's all bullshit.
So is everything else I watch. I watch fairy fantasy stuff on TV and cartoons. That's all made up too.
Yeah, that's true. I think that is the Bravo reason for their success. Everybody watching knows that there are producers that are feeding lines a lot of the times to these people.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you watch it because it's kind of entertaining.
See, I think it's less feeding lines and more that producers instigate drama.
Yeah, they tell
like, hey, did you know so-and-so was just talking crap about you? over here. I think
Yeah.
they instigate the drama.
See, I don't watch none of that, but I watch the cooking shows. I watch like Master Chef and all this kind of stuff. And they always have somebody on there that you hate.
Mhm.
And that person never get kicked off. They never get kicked off because they need you to hate somebody.
The
They
villain.
need you to love some. They know what to do. They know what sells. And there has to be some controversy. I mean, that's
Can-
you know, I mean,
Can
they're
I
good,
make
but come on.
can I make a confession that is going to be very controversial? I do not think this Golden Bachelor marriage is going to last.
Oh
Stop
no,
Take
no!
it back.
Get
My
back,
Sicilian second sight,
You take it back.
I can't. My Sicilian second sight, they were in like People magazine, Gary, and what? Tell me, Lamar, right off top. I have had a day. What was his
Cheryl?
bride's name?
What? And Cheryl?
No, Gary, the Golden Bachelor. Who did he? What was the name of the one that won the ring or whatever? It's right on the tip. I can see her wedding. I can describe her
Isn't it
wedding
Cheryl?
dress.
Carla, who won the ring with the Golden Bachelor?
Come on, Carla.
Carla, who won the ring with the Golden? Who did Gary marry with Golden? Teresa, I'm sorry.
Teresa, thank you. Okay, Teresa. I could describe her wedding dress, but I couldn't remember her name.
Did they actually get
reading-
married?
They
I
did get
don't-
married.
Because he
They
said
did
they're
get married.
older, they don't have time to mess around. They got to jump
They
into
got-
this and go.
They got married. And then they were People magazine, the paparazzi caught them buying coffee in New Jersey or whatever. So I'm reading this article in People magazine, and I got to tell you, the Sicilian second sight went off like DEFCON 5
No.
level. Like, this
I
ain't gonna
trust it.
work. This ain't gonna last, kids. I
I
don't know
think-
why.
So
think this is very-
so I gotta just ask, was the whole thing, including the marriage, kind of a setup to get it done? I mean, what a slap in the face to the institution, as they used to say, of marriage.
Here comes lightning incoming, lightning incoming. You and I do not get to say things like, what an insult to the institution.
Yes, we do. We gave it our best without ever trying to have any other ulterior motive. You take that back. That is a Sherry Lynch
no.
bullshit line.
You can't say that about any of these bachelor or bachelorette shows. They have made a mockery of the whole deal. So that's
I
over
agree.
with.
I
Now
agree.
we're just looking at the Golden Bachelor. And listen, all the other women, we watched the wedding, we watched every second of it. We watched every second of it. And I couldn't believe that they had all the other women there and they're all on the microphones and they're all doing it. Was I don't know.
You watched
I
every
just-
second of
Yes,
the
he did.
marriage.
We
of the
rushed
Yes,
home
he
Golden
to
did.
watch
Bachelor.
it. Yes,
Yes, he did.
I didn't miss it. We watched the Golden Bachelor from start to end. We watched.
Have
it.
the bowling alleys in Spartanburg all closed down?
I'm just saying.
He loves love.
I love love. That's right.
He loves love. Okay.
Well, eyes
okay,
on
so
me.
two
No.
things, two things.
Eyes on me, because I just saw this yesterday. What did I predict would happen because of the success of the Golden Bachelor?
That we would have the Golden Bachelorette.
It's coming, baby.
It's coming, yeah.
The ABC
So-
Who's
execs.
going
I'm
to
not
be
just-
it though? Who's going to be it? I think me and Carla keep thinking it's going to be the one that finished second place.
Why
I
does
think
it
it
have
has to be the one
Why
that
does it
finished
have to
second
be
place.
one of the other ones? Why can't it be somebody out of the blue?
Because it's always, that's how they go. They always take one of the rejected ones.
Let me tell you
And
something
put
else that
them-
happened
put
at the
them on.
Bachelorette at the Golden Bachelor wedding. Another bachelor and whatever, he proposed to her. This is the most not done thing ever. You don't propose to somebody at somebody else's wedding. It's not done.
No, it's bad.
No,
You're right.
you do
You're right.
not you don't take that focus off of the bride and the
Tacky.
groom.
Yeah.
So two things. One, I want to say in our comment stream, Todd Knotts, oh, Pumpkin, you can keep posting all that crazy anti-Taylor Swift stuff. I do not bite on that bait. These teeth don't bite on that bait. Okay, now back to Jerry and Teresa. They are lovely human beings. I have no fight with either one of them.
No.
Like you, Lamar, I love love. This marriage is not going to go the distance. And I don't know why I feel that so strongly. I'd put money on it. It's just not going to go.
What
Don't
the hell
most
is
of
the difference when they're both 90? What are you talking about different distance?
Well, I mean, she's saying a few years. Now
I'm-
they
it's
have to
not gonna-
go. They have to go at least a year, or they have to give the rings back.
Oh.
They don't get to keep the rings unless it lasts a year.
Hey, I could be married to Snuffleupagus if the rock was big enough for 12 months, my dude. In fact,
Yeah.
I think I was for less. But um,
I don't
I
know you.
here's
Did I ever
here's
know
why
you? After saying that, do I really know you?
here's why I think it's not going to last. I think that the circumstances are so artificial and so artificially escalated,
Yeah.
and
Don't
I've
most
just got a
of
bad
the
feeling.
How many hours, honestly, did they spend together alone before he made his decision? I mean, come on.
You know what, though? I think they spent more hours together than some regular folks who go to Vegas.
But that's another deal. That's another deal.
It is another deal.
Yeah. Listen, you got to date somebody longer than that.
How
You just
long?
me and Carla dated for 7 years
Did you really?
before we got married. Yeah. You were at the wedding.
I was
Kevin
at the
and I,
wedding. I didn't know about 7 years before it. Are you kidding?
Yes.
5 years for me and Kevin.
Yeah.
Uh,
You got to give somebody you got to watch for the crazy. People can hide crazy for months, maybe a year or
Oh,
two. You got to
No,
watch.
you
they
can hide the
cannot.
crazy.
They cannot hide it more than a year, I don't think.
Well, I know, but I'm just telling you. 7
depends
years.
on the level of crazy. Some people's
Yeah.
crazy comes out later in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
How
just,
does oh, wait a minute. Wait. How does that work? It comes out later in life.
Well,
you know how
with
that
stress and
works.
different
Come on.
factors and stuff like that,
You know how that works.
yeah, sometimes it just sneaks in there later.
Yeah.
Responsibilities mounting up, unexpected, bad luck, tragic circumstances,
That's not
unforeseen
crazy.
events.
No, crazy is um, while you were at work today, I bought a Lamborghini or whatever your version of a Lamborghini. That's crazy. Okay.
There's a lot of different.
Saying.
I just think that in the artificially emotionally escalated environment of the bachelor house and the producers and the competition, and you're a regular like person and suddenly you're on Entertainment Tonight and the Drew Barrymore show. I think
Yeah.
all of that
That's
adds
a lot.
up
That's a lot.
to create an environment where you're like, yes, I'm living. But then there's the day-to-day grind of living. And I'm sorry. I don't want them to be miserable. I just don't see it.
If I was on one of those shows, I'd have that question in my mind whether or not they really wanted to be with me or they just didn't want the other people to win. And that, which is it? And I think that would be something that would
Yeah.
happen.
If you're just that's interesting, Heather. If you're just talking about the show, where does the human desire for winning a competition come in? I'll do anything to beat her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other thing is of course, now Gary was a very emotional guy. I mean, he's crying because I love both of them. I love them both. Whoa. Be careful what you say, because if you love them both, whichever one you pick. So
wait a minute. Did he actually say in front of God and ABC that he loved them both?
cried. He says, I don't know what I'm going to do because I love them both. Okay, I love them
You don't
both.
even know these people, Gary.
Okay, listen, Bob. You got to start watching this stuff. It's humanity. It's humanity.
I am not going to start watching that stuff. First of
Oh,
all, I
whoa,
would
whoa.
never say ever that I love them both to one of them.
Much less to a camera.
Or
He's
much
to a
less to a camera.
Melissa is asking if anybody on those shows stayed married. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Trista and Ryan.
Tristan and Ryan.
Trista and Ryan.
Romance. That's
They are the gold standard.
Got kids, the whole deal. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what's their backup? Is there any backup beyond? I'm so tired of hearing about them, by the way. All right, he's a fireman, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's great. They got lucky. Are there others?
I think there's one other couple, Lamar, one other bachelor couple.
Yeah, there is.
I can't listen. You know, The Bachelor's in like its 73rd season. Like it's just crazy how
Yeah.
many iterations there are. I can't keep track. Tristan and Ryan were the first to go the distance. Then there's one other bachelor couple
Yeah.
that I think did it.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I don't know, man. Something's wrong with this one.
But now Gary and them, they're old, so they may die before the divorce, so they could go to this distance.
Wait, how old are they? They're not that old, are they?
They're 70. He's 70. She's 70.
I hated her. Since we're being
There's
real,
a lot of people out there younger than Gary that would like to die before the divorce.
Oh yeah.
Right
Oh
now.
yeah. So relatable. But listen, since we're being really real,
Yeah.
I so hated her wedding dress, Lamar, that I didn't know where to begin. I was beside myself with how much I hated her wedding dress. I was like, Teresa, hello, is this the Hoboken prom circa 1987? Like, no, I hate your wedding dress. Heather, did you hate her wedding dress? I hated her wedding dress.
They were a
wasn't
couple
one
of
of my
other
favorites.
dresses that were way nicer.
Thank you.
Yeah, they
I
were.
have
Thank you.
right now the ultimate line on any reality show. The ultimate line that could be happening on any reality show in the history of reality shows. I'm talking about the Kardashians. I'm talking about Vander, whatever her name is. I'm talking about The Bachelor. This could be the ultimate line, and it could happen. Did you know that there is a British version of The Apprentice? There is a British version of The Apprentice, and unlike the American one, it's still running. And
Does
the
it say like you're sacked instead of you're fired?
No. The producers are dangling the possibility, and they say it's fairly possible, I don't know, that King Charles will become a one-time participant in the British version of The Apprentice. And in my opinion, the ultimate line would be, Harry, you're fired.
Oh, harsh.
What would cut that? Nothing.
Hey, Sheri. Besides the wedding dress, I thought the bridesmaids' dresses were hideous.
Oh my
I'm
God, thank
talking
you.
about it was like the cartoon of bridesmaids' dresses. It was hideous.
Thank you, because I was first I predicted their marriage wasn't going to last, and then I said I hated her dress. I felt like, girl, at that point, you just got to sit down and be nice. Thank you for pointing out, like, did you go shopping at Bridesmaids from Hell? What were we thinking?
I don't even know. It's hard to imagine you could have got both of those off of eBay. I don't even understand. You could. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was not flattering. It was not anything. It was terrible. They were terrible.
Bob, I think there's a reality show you would like called Below Deck. Have you watched it?
I've seen a little bit of
Carla
it.
likes that.
I think you would like it because it's boat stuff and, there's a little bit of intrigue and drama, and sometimes it's famous rich people.
I just hate seeing people like me having to serve people like those. I just
Yeah, I could see you being a cabin boy.
Oh, that would be funny.
Yeah, that's a reality show, Bob the Cabin Boy.
Here's your stuffed salmon. I hope you like it.
Donna Covington just asked how Kevin's doing. He's doing so good. Y'all, he got his hard cast, which is his surgical splint was made of plaster, and it was really heavy and really rigid. And he had staples. He had 5 different incisions with staples in them. And like anytime he moved his leg, like the staples would stab him. And he tried very hard to not complain. And he's really been A+ as a patient. But yesterday he got his staples out, and they put a fiberglass cast on.
Ooh,
And
good.
even though it goes all the way up to his knee and then all the way down his whole foot, it's super lightweight, and he is zipping around on his scooter. So like if I'm in the kitchen, out of my peripheral vision, he'll come sailing past me like the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. And it's so funny. Wait. And he has a little basket on his scooter.
Has he got
This, as God is my
has he
witness,
got a horn?
I told my book club friends this. Okay, so like this, you're not hearing this for the first time. So, um, he has a little basket on his scooter, and inside his basket, he puts like his phone and maybe like a snack and his two big plastic dinosaurs. So he comes sailing past me in the kitchen. I glance over, and peeking over the edge of the basket is a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a Brachiosaurus. He's whoosh, whoosh.
Kevin,
He's
as a
doing really
man,
well.
get well soon. Please get well soon.
He's doing really well. And he actually, you guys, so many people wished him a happy birthday, and he was really kind of out of it for his
That's sweet.
actual birthday.
That's
And he
sweet.
said to me tonight, he's like, if I can make it down the stairs, because he's upstairs, if I can make it down the stairs, I'll come thank everybody for the birthday wishes. And I was like, it's okay. You can wait till next happy hour. Don't try to get down the stairs on your crutches. But yeah, he's doing really well. And we had to go to the hospital, to get his cast and x-rays and everything. Oh my God. I need to post a picture of one of his x-rays. I shared it with Bob
Oh.
and Lamar and Max and Doc. He's got a screw
Mary
this long.
Catherine from Winston-Salem is saying, I'm so glad to hear Kevin is
Yeah.
doing better. There's so many
You sh-
wonderful comments for him here tonight.
I will share a picture of this. I'll give it to Doc to post on our Facebook. It is a screw like 6 inches long that's permanently now holding his reconstructed
Unbelievable.
foot back together. But anyway, so we're at the hospital to get his cast and his x-rays and everything. And we're getting ready to leave. And there's this long ramp down. And he sees it and he goes, ooh, a ramp. And before I could even be like, no, wait,
He
don't
goes down
stop.
it.
He shot down that ramp on his knee scooter
No,
and disappeared around the bend. And I
no,
just
he did
stood,
not.
yes, he did, like a 6-year-old. And I just stood there and I thought,
That is
well,
insanity.
Yes.
I'm listening for the crash and screams.
That is
But no,
insanity.
when I finally got to the lobby, he was waiting for me all happy with his little scooter. So yeah, he's doing great.
I love I feel like he's making the best of the scooter. And
He
I
really
sort of
is.
love
He's so
that.
good. He's so good. We're actually going to Fayetteville in a couple of days because one of our listeners, we're renting Kevin's scooter, but one of our listeners has one from when she had big time scary leg ortho surgery. So we're going to go, and
Was
she's
she a
giving Kevin
soldier?
her scooter.
Was she a
She's giving.
soldier?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, she just lives in Fayetteville, but we're
Yeah.
heading down there to pick up the scooter because he's enjoying it. He is enjoying
cool.
himself. So
Is he really? Oh, I'm so impressed. That's
yeah.
fantastic that he's embracing it and not fighting it.
I think he's having a really good recovery. His x-rays look great.
Good,
His incisions all looked really good. It was really
good.
trippy. Like, I like gruesome things, but even I had a hard time with the
Oh,
staples coming out. Plink, plink. It was terrifying. Um, his attitude, I think, has contributed to his recovery.
They
He's
say
just
it does.
decided, yeah,
Yeah.
he's just decided to be positive and
I've
and
had hangovers that were tougher to recover from than evidently what he's doing. That's fantastic.
he's doing great.
that's
He's
good.
doing great. And
Oh,
he's so independent. Like in the beginning, I was like, I will give you a shower. And I'd haul him into the shower and scrub him down. And I thought he would enjoy that. He couldn't wait for that to end, let me tell you. Apparently, I'm not gentle and I don't warn him before I grab things.
hey, maybe you should call up Pat Boone and get one of those walk-in showers with a little seat in there. And
Oh, those little tubs. Yeah,
the little teakwood seat.
Those
Yeah.
things are pretty cool. I went on a retreat. And we did a bed and breakfast, not a bed, but VRBO or whatever, and it had one of those.
What's that like?
I mean, it's weird because you get in and you can't believe as that water comes up that it's going to stay in. And
Why? Because of the door or something?
Yeah, because there's a door, and I keep thinking it's really going to hold, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I always wonder about those walk-in tubs when I see them on TV? Like, what if you opened it while it was full of water? I guess it doesn't let you do that.
Well, no,
Wouldn't
I guess you could.
Wouldn't you flood the bejeebers out of the house?
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be good.
What's the likelihood of that? The likelihood of that is like, I don't know, a plane door flying off in midair.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference.
I know, and that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
But when you're
That's
on
a
a plane,
fantasy.
you've always got that thought in your head. what would it be like if I pulled that handle? You know, you always got that thought. In the shot, I never thought about that. All I could think about was if I do open the door, we can't get the deposit back. That's just,
There you go. You know what kind of shower I would like to have? I would like to have a shower. I've only seen them like in, you know, how you get a feed like, let's go into Jennifer Aniston's bathroom.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a shower that has like little stones, and you can start the shower, but you can walk right in. But
Oh,
it's
I've seen that, like river rocks.
yeah, like
Yeah, yeah,
little
yeah.
river rocks, but it doesn't flow into the bathroom. It's very
Oh.
zen-like. You know, wouldn't that be great to have?
You know, I've told y'all, I stayed at John Wayne's house many years back in the like early 80s.
You
I
did?
I stayed at John Wayne's house in Mexico. Okay.
Right.
It was up on, I mean, it was like crazy. He had servants and the whole deal. He didn't come there but 3 or 4 times a year. But the bathroom there, the shower, you just turn it on and there's no doors, there's no nothing. The shower just goes, and there's enough slope in that
That's what I want.
Oh yeah. There's no
I
doors.
want to hear about you in John Wayne's shower. Holy cow. Where in actual Mexico or New Mexico, USA?
No, Mexico. Yeah. And I worked for Slits at that time, and the guy that owned it, he lived in New York, and he came down like once a year to give us a whatever pep talk. And he mentioned that he had bought John Wayne's house down in Mexico.
Yeah.
And he said, and back then, this is in like the late 70s, it was like maybe 80, 81. You know, he rented it for like $300 a day, which was a lot of money. Okay, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he said, but if anybody ever wants to go, just let me know. So I'm sitting in the back. I got my hand up.
I want to go.
He goes, what do you want? I said, I want to go. And it took me about 6 months to work it out. But I was able to work it out. So we went down, and when you got there, it was on like a 400 drop cliff. It was a 400-foot cliff dropped off right on it was unbelievable. And like it had walls all the way around it, and on the top of the walls it had broken glass that was like they poured concrete and then put broken glass in there so nobody could climb over.
Protection.
Oh
yeah. And they had a cook and they had a houseboy that took care of everything, and they cooked and had this big pool, and it was crazy.
We have to talk about that more on the show. Lamar and John Wayne's shower. Wow.
Which is cool for me because I'm a big John Wayne fan.
Are you really?
Oh.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are. A lot of people are.
We've been because we've been captive. We've been watching a bunch of like whatever old cowboy movie Kevin finds on basic cable. I think I've seen Rio Bravo twice this month.
The best one though is Big Jake.
I've never seen that one. I've seen True Grit and Rio Bravo, and there's one other one that's on all the time that I've seen.
Flying Tigers. Well, we're about out of time. This has been a lot of fun. I'm so glad that Kevin is going through everything, and I just am so impressed with Sheri. For a lot of folks obviously don't know everything that she does on the show. She does a lot on the show, and she is showing up on the show and caring for her husband, and that is a big, heavy lift. Thank God.
Wait. She tells us how she's caring for her husband. We're not there. We haven't heard from Kevin. I mean, honestly, I'm sure you're doing okay.
You got a point
We're
there.
just taking her word for it.
I haven't had a spaghetti pie in 5 years, so you may be right.
I felt that tying him to the bed with bungee cords was for his safety.
Oh, I see.
That way, while I'm working, I don't have to worry about him falling.
You know, isn't it funny that he wanted to come down and say stuff to people today, but he didn't get to come down?
Maybe next time. Good.
Yeah.
Ooh, tomorrow, before we sign off, tomorrow Lamar is reviewing Griselda on Netflix. Holy cow. Oh my God. We are watching it too. It is, you don't even believe it's Sofia Vergara. It's so good. So that's the People's Movie Critic tomorrow.
And on the Talking Lamar podcast, I tell the story of the real Griselda, which is even more violent than the
Horrifying.
show is. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Very good.
So good. All right. Cheers, everybody. Thank you
Cheers.
for joining us for happy hour. We'll see you next time. Have a great Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow on the regular show, and
Love
have a
y'all.
great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're clear.